All right, I have some good news. Good news for America, good news for the blockchain, and good news because I found a new guru. Some of you maybe probably already heard about Joseph Lubin of Consensys. I'd heard the name, but I finally took the time to watch his videos, and I said, wow, I got myself a new guru to follow. So he is super interesting. I'm going to show some of the videos. I'll put links underneath so you can watch them. This one, this is keynote at Ethereal Summit, and I'm going to get to why this is also good news for America in a minute. But so this video here
it made sense to me, and I felt the financial world was at best mundane.
Okay, he talks here for 30 minutes, and it's about his history, which is really impressive. You know, he was computer science and super smart guy, wasn't interested in finance. And then he was very concerned about the United States with our debt and government problems. And, you know, to make a long story short, when he saw the blockchain with Bitcoin, he read the white paper for Bitcoin and said, America has a way out of this mess. And I really like his angle, which is a great way of looking at things. It's very positive, which is, the reason the U.S. and its government is in the bankrupt state that it is because it's just become too difficult to manage all these things going on. But by using the blockchain, we will now have the ability to run the country better, whether it's government or finances, and we will work ourselves out of this mess. And I think that's a great way to look at it, as opposed to, well, the U.S. government is a mess. Now we're going to use the blockchain to create a new world, and the government in the U.S. goes bankrupt. That's a negative view. He has a very positive view, and he's a leader in the space. And also, he says some positive things, too, about America, which I'll get to. So I strongly recommend you listen to, this is, I'll put the link in, the Ethereal keynote at the summit, talks about his history, talks about what's going on. You know, when he read the Ethereum white paper, he jumped in with both feet. What else does he? Let's see. That was at 8:50 here. I mean, it's like hard to pick out any one quote.
It showed us in some detail a scalable method for building systems. I jumped into the Bitcoin system informally. Basically, I read everything for a couple of years, but I didn't go to any events or really meet anybody in the space. When I read the white paper by Vitalik Buterin describing the Ethereum platform, it crystallized for me all the potential with which I felt the Bitcoin white paper was pregnant. Bitcoin taught us that we had a new paradigm that we could use to build better systems. And now with Ethereum, Vitalik showed us in some detail a scalable method for building systems that would change everything.
Okay, so, you know, it's his stuff, too. The guy is deep. He's smart. You know, you can listen and sometimes rewind because your mind goes off. And there's a lot more to listen to, too. So this is from just a few days ago, from September 25th. He sat here and he took a bunch of questions from people, and there's several videos on this. I'll put in a couple links. I recommend you listen to these because also these are super current. This is from 2 days ago. And this specific one I'm going to play for you is he talks about U.S. regulators. I was pleasantly surprised by what he said because we've been seeing the regulation crackdown. We've seen China. He talks about that as well. And I was happy to hear what he says about America here. Let's listen in.
Yeah, so I don't have much insight into the thinking of leaders in different countries, especially this country. But we saw the SEC issue a report. And it was a very favorable report. It was exactly what our legal team has expected and interpreted the DAO to be. Importantly, the SEC said that they would continue to look at the details of every situation. They aren't throwing out the baby with the bathwater. I like the fact that they called Ether a cryptocurrency in that particular report, sort of designating that as a category rather than a security. So the United States is doing a pretty good job of being patient, which is what you need to do with a profound new technology. And the United States did a great job of being patient and creating safe harbors for a technology.
Yeah. So And for some of you listening, well, he's a banker insider, and so that's why he's happy with America. No, he was somebody who, if you listen to his story in that keynote, he was so worried about with the debt and where the direction that the U.S. is going. He was looking to buy, he was considering the path of the people who go and build bunkers in the middle of nowhere and eat food in the basement, save canned foods. He's not some insider guy. He's trying to build out the new blockchain, and he feels that America is not shutting the door on him. And he's also one of the bigger, his company, or his organization that he started, Consensys, with a Y, Consensys, again, I'll put that in the description, is basically an organization that's starting several projects on the blockchain. I'll get into what those are in a minute. Him saying that, I think he's somebody who I think is on what I would consider my side, our side, the crypto revolution side, saying that the U.S. is going about this okay right now. I thought that was positive. Some of this other stuff, and again, it's interesting just to listen to this guy talk. He's got, everything's
value
interesting.
Tokens, where many nation states issue their own, and there's some other systems, and so you've got hundreds or thousands of these things in the world. We're going to see situations where we issue tokens for a party, shared payment of the party, admission, etc. You could issue a token.
This guy, I love this guy. He's sitting here, he's playing with his mustache, and the guy mentions a token for parties, and he looks at what parties? But anyways, he talks in detail about what's going to be happening in the future. Again, really interesting. Recommend you to check it out. And then as far as some of the projects that his Consensys is working on, identity, sovereign identity, uport, I think, is a thing for using your identity, so you own your own identity, a loan platform, weifund, fund, for raising money. Their group is also the one behind gnosis, and I looked at this gnosis for a minute here. I did a review on Augur, another prediction platform. I wasn't that impressed. This one, if I was going to bet on a prediction platform, I would go with gnosis. This thing is deep, runs deep. Here they got their timeline. The founder. They started in 2013, sort of, and this, I can barely follow, their roadmap. Really, really deep stuff. Do you invest in it or not? I don't know. I honestly, and people are like, oh, well, if you don't know, don't talk about it. I talk about what I know, if for making a video, the criteria is only when you know everything, then no one will ever make a video, okay? So, anyways, but I know enough to know that I don't know enough to know to invest or not in gnosis, but I do know enough to know it looks deep. These people are friggin' smart. And then there's Consensys Academy, too, where they teach developers. And what was that? Consensys, do I have that link? Shoot. There's a Consensys Academy where they teach developers for blockchain development. If I was young right now, I know a lot of my viewers, you got 20-something years old looking for something to do other than trading coins and thinking you're making a business, or you keep trading coins and then when it crashes you lose your money, you're looking for something to do, I would do this Consensys Academy. Go through that, learn that shit. That's value. You'll make money. That's what I would do. I'm too old to work hard, so I'm not doing that. And then finally, I wanted to mention, and this is important, because another thing that's going on that I just find fascinating is the leaders, and always the leaders that I like. They have the coolest friggin' T-shirts. So look at this. Now look at this T-shirt. Let's see if we can see it well.
I jumped in completely. Decentralization as an organization.
Hard to see, but another cool T-shirt got me thinking, oh, geez, I'll search for Consensys T-shirts. Well, sure enough, they have a store on their website. It's hard to see the shirts because they're sold out, and they put the sold out thing right over the shirt. But again, friggin' cool T-shirts, and they're all sold out. I really think there's a business here for cool T-shirts. I'm gonna do a video on that because I have a distribution system. Maybe it's time to get into the t-shirt distribution business. So anyways, bottom line, Joseph Lubin, I'm keeping my eye. I want to hear everything this guy has to say when he says it. I think you should follow it too. And again, now I just, there's another awesome person on the Ethereum team. As I say, all roads seem to lead to Ethereum. So, thank you.